What might the fastest SUV you can buy be like? According to Alfa Romeo, this is it, the Stelvio Quadrifoglio. Rivals make similar claims, but this Italian high-performance SUV appears to have the firepower to match its bravado, offering the same Ferrari-derived twin-turbo V6 that features in the glorious Giulia Quadrifoglio Super Sports Saloon. This top Stelvio model was lightly revised for the 2020 model year, but its essential character hasn't changed. This exclusive Stelvio model certainly has the stats to back up its bold performance claims. Under the bonnet, as with the Giulia Quadrifoglio, lies a 2.9-litre petrol V6 Bi-Turbo power plant that's essentially a cut-down version of the 4-litre V8 used in Ferrari's 488 model. It develops a thundering 510 brake horsepower, which allows the car to storm to 62 miles an hour in just 3.8 seconds, on the way to a top speed of 176 miles an hour. Alfa's thrown all the performance technology it has at this Halo model, and on this top Stelvio you get one feature not fitted to UK versions of the Giulia Quadrifoglio, the Italian maker's innovative Q4 all-wheel drive system. This normally sends all its torque to the rear wheels, but should slippage be detected, up to 50% of drive can be sent to the front axle. This works with a range of other advanced drive systems that combine to try and make this portly 1.83-ton SUV handle something like a sports saloon. Active torque vectoring helps get the power down through the bends. Active suspension varies the damping, multi-link rear setup, and Alfa chassis domain control connects the different systems to deliver the best setup as the car is being driven. There's also an Alfa active aero package that alters the angle of the front splitter to help this model scythe through the air more cleanly. Does it all work? To an impressive point, yes. If you were to jump into this car after pounding around a race circuit in a Giulia Quadrifoglio, or indeed a BMW M3 or a Mercedes-AMG C63, you'd notice the extra weight and height, but that's to be expected. Otherwise, this Manic Stelvio deports itself impressively, helped by direct, quick and intuitive steering feel. As in an ordinary Stelvio, 8-speed paddle shift auto transmission is mandatory, with gorgeous, big, cool, silver Ferrari-style steering wheel paddles and shift times that you can alter via the modes of the usual Alfa DNA drive mode system, which features an extra race setting that ramps up the engine note. The efficiency figures are acceptable given the performance on offer: 23.8 miles to the gallon on the WLTP combined cycle and 222 grams per kilometre of WLTP rated carbon dioxide, readings that are roughly equal to what you get in a rival Mercedes-AMG GLC 63S. The torque proportions of the Stelvio work well with the Quadrifoglio embellishment, but visual changes to the latest version of this performance variant are slight. A smarter, glossy black finish adorns what Alfa calls the front trilobe, the brand's unique heart-shaped front grille with its stylish cross and dragon badge. And as before, you get bespoke bumpers and piercing bi-xenon headlamps give the car some serious overtaking presence. There are also these classic bonnet vents. Right, let's take a seat at the wheel. What a disappointment it would have been if all the romance of the exterior had been compromised by a cabin fashioned as a pale pastiche of what the German brands already offer. It hasn't been. Instead, there's a cockpit that, to some extent at least, succeeds in combining classic Alfa charisma with modern functionality. In this Quadrifoglio variant, it's been set apart with red-stitched sports seats upholstered in a leather and Alcantara combination. The dashboard and the door panels are also wrapped in stitched leather, and there are carbon fibre inserts around the fascia and the lower centre console, plus Quadrifoglio cloverleaf badging on the steering wheel and the rev counter. Changes made to this improved model include a revised leather-trimmed steering wheel and a much nicer gear stick, under which, evocatively, is a little Italian flag. But the key improvement is this new 8.8-inch centre dash infotainment display, now a touchscreen, which adopts a more up-to-date layout with widgets which can be dragged and dropped to create a fully customisable homepage in which each of the vehicle's functions becomes an app. Another redesigned screen is this 7-inch TFT display in the centre of the instrument cluster, now revised to offer more information in a more rational way. When it's time to take a seat in the rear, taller folk might find access hindered a little by this swept-backed roofline. Still, the rear door opens decently wide. And once inside, there's a lot more headroom than the sleek silhouette previously led you to expect. Legroom, though, isn't quite as good as in some direct rivals, though it's better than in a Porsche Macan. And a couple of tall folk sat behind a lanky driver will find their knees very close indeed to the scalloped cutouts indented into the front seat backs. Out back, you can specify the powered tailgate to include a hands-free feature so that it activates with a swipe of your foot beneath the bespoke bumper. And when it raises, a 525-litre boot is revealed with compartments under the floor in lieu of the proper spare wheel we'd much rather have. If you need more space, pushing forward the rear bench by pulling on these cargo sidewall mounted catches extends the room available to 1,600 litres. There are other super high-performance SUVs at this price point that you could certainly consider as alternatives to the Stelvio Quadrifoglio, the most obvious being the Jaguar F-Pace SVR, the Porsche Macan Turbo and the Mercedes-AMG GLC 63S. Each of these alternatives can offer a bit more polish than this Alfa, but in many ways this Stelvio is a more uncompromising performance car. If that's what you're looking for, then that'll matter. Unlike its rivals, this model feels like it has that kind of heritage, and for that reason, we like it very much.